What do I do? I'm a life coach. I niche in dating and relationships. I have 11 books on the subject. I like to say I catch you where you are. I lift you up from there. I'm the person that teaches you how to pick the right person and have a zero fight relationship.
Okay, cool. So, question for you. When did you start doing the whole dating coaching stuff? And what made you get into it?
So I started 10 years ago. I'm actually having my 10-year anniversary on October 25th in Niagara Falls. What got me into it was after 20 years of stripping, which I told my mom when I was 6 I was going to be a stripper when I grew up. So I worked sober because I loved it, and I studied social sciences at the same time. So 20 years of studying social sciences and sitting across from males that were not seeing me as a threat, because I'm not the wife, I'm not the girlfriend, I'm not the therapist or the other female they're trying to flirt with. I literally nobody, makeup, high heels, no clothing, nothing, right? So they got 4 or 5 drinks. I say, how did you feel about that? They tell me the truth because I'm nobody. They go, they leave, they never see me again. So I got 20 years of experience studying sociology, psychology, anthropology, biology, evolutionary psychology, behaviorism, and meditation, and then applying it to the information that I was getting from the males in front of me for 20 years.
Okay. So, would you say that the your clients who you coach, is it more female than there are males?
85% of my audience is female.
Okay, so 85% females, and then the 15% is the males.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, cool. So you said a lot there. You said that you were a stripper for 20 years.
Yeah,
So
21
you
to 41.
okay, so you from a stripper you turned into a dating coach.
Yeah, so I got to 41 years old, and you get to 41 and you go, maybe I should age out now because, 41. So I asked myself, what am I going to do next? So my next question was, what am I already doing that I love? Because I'm super hedonistic. And the answer to that is help people, because in the dressing room, talking to the ladies, I was helping them in their relationships. On the floor, talking to the men, I was helping them in their relationships. So I just kind of took what I was already doing, put a title on it, put my information in books, and here we are.
Okay. And you said that you're super hedonistic. Hedonism is pleasure seeking.
Uh,
So
yes,
one of the ways you sought out pleasure was, you said, it would be, well, one, you were stripping, so it would be that career path of dancing and
so
stuff. And
what
then
was
the other way was communicating with the clients, I guess the males that you're dancing with and stuff like that. And then the girls in the locker room, you sought out pleasure, you got pleasure from that.
I love having a conversation with somebody and saying something and seeing the illumination, like, oh wow, I never thought about it that way. And that's super pleasurable. But what's even more pleasurable is when they go and exercise what I told them and then come back and tell me that it made their life better. And I call that an emotional reward.
Okay. Do you, so question for you then. So you've were a stripper for 20 years. You got into coaching. Would you recommend that a guy dates a woman that did 20 years on a stripper pole versus a
How about
woman
how about marry one?
married? Great, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me ask you a question. When did you get married?
13 years ago.
13 years ago. Good for you.
And we've been
So
together for 20 years.
good for you. Good for you. So you were together for 7 years prior to him marrying you.
To us getting married, yeah.
I mean, he would have to marry you. He got on one knee, right? Or did you get on one knee?
Well, we had broken up one more time because you know how sometimes I was insecure. I was vomiting my dysfunction into the relationship. He got tired of it a few times. We'd broken up. This was the last breakup that we had. He actually emailed me a breakup. I called him at work. I said, "Are you sure?" He said yes. I said, "That's too bad." Hung up the phone and then got to work getting over him because I was done trying to make it work between us, despite my dysfunction, which took me a while to realize I was the problem. So he broke up with me. I said, "Are you sure?" He said yes. I hung up and I seriously got to work getting over him, and I did. And he didn't expect that to happen. He thought it was going to be like a breakup, take a break, reset ourselves, come back.
And I'm sorry, I just misheard that. Did you say you broke up with him during this time, or he broke up with you?
He broke up with me, and
Okay,
I got over him. And he
got
didn't
it.
expect that to happen. He thought it was going to be a breakup, take some space, and then come back.
Meaning that you moved on with another man.
No, 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 no. I got over him. And I was using a no kissing for 3 months dating rules. So I was seeing somebody, but there was no kissing, no sex, no sleepovers, no exclusivity. And so I wasn't with anybody, but I was over him, and he didn't expect that to happen. And so he was like, oh shit. So what do I do now? And he was trying to win me back, and it wasn't working because I got over him. And I said, the man you are is no longer who I want, because I've redefined my next relationship. And he said, okay, what is it you're looking for? And I said, well, the old me is done. This is my next evolution and where I'm going next. And when him and I got together, I was coming out of a divorce. He was divorced for 5 years. Both of us said, I don't ever want to get married again. That's a hassle. Like I would do another relationship, but not another marriage. It's just a pain in the ass.
Got it. So this was your second marriage.
So both of us had said we don't want to get married, and I did change my mind in the course of our relationship, but I didn't verbalize that because I didn't think it was fair to switch it up. So I just ate it. But when we broke up and I got over him and I defined my next relationship, I went, you know what? I remember changing my mind, so I'm putting marriage on my list. So when he wanted to win me back, I said, sorry, but all that's done. Like when I'm going forward again, here's what I'm looking for, and marriage is also on there. So he said, can I take you out for one last dinner? And I said, okay, fine. So he came, picked me up, talked the entire time, and proposed marriage.
Okay. So he did. So
Not
he's
not
the
only
one
proposed,
that
well,
proposed to you.
yeah, he didn't, he not just proposed marriage, but basically he took the when you play poker, I think it's called a royal flush. So he took
Never
everything.
played poker.
Okay, I think that's the
Yeah.
highest you can get, but he took everything I had on my list and he went, royal flush, here you go. And I said, let me think about it. And I
Okay.
did before I said yes. But I
Got
did
it.
say yes because when I thought about it, I had one of three trajectories, which is say no, continue on my own path, say maybe, but I still need to see some more, or yes. And the reason why I said yes is because what came with the yes was the words, he's where you want him to be. So I took that words. I have a voice in my head, capital T, capital V. It's smarter than me. It said, he's where you want him to be. So I said the yes instead of the no or maybe. And we've been together for how long now since then? Well, 13 years we were married. So I don't know. I'm not really good at numbers at this point, but been together ever since. Got married and the whole deal.
Yeah. So
Married
if
13 years now. So probably 15 years ago. Let's see. It seems like
okay,
it's, yeah.
cool. So let me just ask, because you said a lot there. So he did, to answer my question, you said that he did actually propose to you.
Yes.
You had a list that you written down a bunch of your requirements of what you expect in a relationship.
So here's an expectation is a story you tell yourself.
It's if you put it in the camera, it's upside down, so it's fine. You
Right.
don't have to. We can't read the
No problem.
words. But so
So
let me ask you this
no,
question though.
no storytelling. An
Okay,
expectation
let me
is
ask you this
storytelling.
question real fast,
Hmm.
just so we have some clarity. And I'm kind of curious too. So you guys went ahead and broke up, and then you moved on.
I did.
You moved on. You
Yeah.
said that you didn't move on sexually, but you
No,
moved on
no,
like you were done with him.
no kissing, no sex, no
Got
sleepover.
it. So after you moved on, you said, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and turn over a new leaf, and I have some requirements for if you want me back." And you said that he went ahead and met all of your requirements, the stuff that you
No,
have on that list.
no, I did not say that. I said the man you are is no longer who I want to be with. I went out for one final dinner with him because I wasn't asking him to be anything. That's who, like I was done with him. I wasn't
Okay.
asking him to change in any way, shape, or form. He said, what is it you're asking for? And I said, here's my list, but I wasn't saying it to him for him to do anything. I was trying to get him away.
Got it. So you were actually trying to get him away.
I
That's
was
what I wanted to know.
I told
Okay.
I had said to him, stop texting me, stop calling me, because when my phone goes off, I'm getting anxiety now because I
Yeah.
don't want to talk to you anymore.
Got you. Oh yeah, because and that makes sense because you fully moved on.
I
And
did.
would you say that you moved on mentally,
Yes,
like totally from and emotionally
yeah,
from him?
I did. Yeah, I did. I got
Okay.
over him. Yeah,
Now you had a list and he adhered to your list.
he
Did
decided to. I didn't.
Yeah, he adhered. You didn't make him. No one's saying that he made you. We all are human beings of free will. What we choose to do, that's our choice. I don't. The only time someone is forcing us is unless they have a gun to our head or they are physically holding us down and forcing us and suppressing us from our own will. So he went ahead and made his own choice as a man, and he decided to adhere to everything on your list. My question is, if you had a list of requirements, did he have a list of requirements of things that you had to adhere to?
No, he didn't ask me to be anything. I was still dysfunctional after we got together. My dysfunction was my insecurity that I was vomiting into the relationship. We still fought for another 2 years after we got back together and got married. We were on the verge of divorce. I was in a deep mental spiral, addiction, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideology, eating disorder that is honestly like I was close to death pretty much. My relationship was failing, brink of divorce. And I said to myself, I need to do something because I'm literally dying from my mental illness.
Okay, I have one question, and I'm sorry when I ask these questions because, and and actually, maybe this is a good moment where we can set some decorum and some structure, so you know that it's not like I'm just cutting you off for no reason. Like, oh, well, why is he cutting me off? I'm being genuine. I'm not being disingenuous. But you're saying much, and it's right on the top of my mind. If you hear me typing some stuff down, because I will let you speak, and I'm typing stuff down so I don't forget. But for this time, if I happen to cut you off, it's for a purpose of to get more understanding out of what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. So you said some things there, and he had to adhere. Well, he adhered to your list. He did not have a list of his own of requirements.
Right.
So not only did he have.
But do you know why? Do you want to ask? Do you want to know why?
Why what?
Why he didn't give me a list of requirements?
Sure, if you want to go ahead and expound on that. I mean, for me, it really doesn't matter if a man doesn't have a list or not. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and let me know, sure.
So the reason why my husband fell in love with me in the first place was because he saw a reflection of himself. You know how like attracts like? Do you understand?
I see what you're saying. I got it. So
Right.
let's get back to my one question. That's what you mean. So meaning you saying that the reason why he didn't have a list because he's seen a reflection of himself. Okay, cool. So my next, not even a, well, I guess it's a question, but I want some clarity here. So he adhered to your list, but not only did he have to adhere to your list, he also had to deal with the trauma that you were bringing, meaning that the emotional things that you were going through. So he adhered to everything on your list, and he also dealt with all of your emotional up and downs.
Right.
What did he get out of this? What did you reciprocate on your end to give him? You know, like, why would a man go with all of that and not have a list? What was it? Did you do any type of reciprocation for him? Or he was just like, I don't need any reciprocation. I just love you for who you are, baby. And I see a reflection of me and you, and I'm going to just accept you how you are. How was it?
Fundamentally, I think he just wanted me to come back to the person he fell in love with.
Okay. Got you. You know what we would call those type of men on this side of the internet?
No.
We would call those type of men simps. So a simp is a man that gets with a woman. A simp is a man. I understand. I hear you. I hear you. So a simp is a man that gets with a woman and expects nothing in return from the woman.
Look at the simps.
And Chantel, while I'm speaking, if it could just be one mic at a time.
I get you. I hear you.
Yeah, because I didn't speak when you were speaking.
That's true.
I only cut you off at moments where I needed some more clarity and understanding. And once again, Chantel,
I know it's backwards. I know.
Yeah, we can't even read it. So it's good for
some people did.
Okay, so on this side of the internet, we have a word and that has meaning for men that behave like that. So a man that gets with a woman and he doesn't expect anything in return, we call them simps. The reason being, and this is this wouldn't be a good thing. This would be a thing of meaning that you don't have any self-respect, you don't have any self-dignity, you are pedestalizing the woman, you view yourself as beneath the woman. So men that operate like this, we call them simps, and it's a derogatory term. It's not a good thing. You get what I'm saying? So the man that you chose to marry is, I would say that he's 100% a simp.
Why you think my husband is somebody who'd be in a relationship with somebody who does not bring as much as he does?
Well, you just said that you didn't bring anything in return and he just loved you for you. But you were the one that had all of these requirements and you had all of this emotional baggage and you were putting all of that on him. And he accepted it. And he didn't actually want anything in return. He just went ahead and dealt with it.
Roll the tape and find my words that said that.
Said what?
What you said, I said. Like you said, you just said, and then you said all these words. So roll the tape and find where those words came out of my mouth.
What word are you speaking about? I said a lot there.
Well, go take what you said and isolate that, and then go back in what I said and go find your words in mine. We still fought for another 2 years after we got back together and got married. We were on the verge of divorce. I was in a deep mental spiral, addiction, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideology, eating disorder that is honestly, like, I was close to death pretty much.
He adhered to your list, but not only did he have to adhere to your list, he also had to deal with the trauma that you were bringing, meaning that the emotional things that you were going through.
There's 0 point in our relationship where my husband would be with somebody who wasn't doing anything for him.
Well, you said that. I said, well, what does he get on his end? Did you reciprocate anything on your end?
Correct. You asked what was his list of requirements. I said what he wanted was me to come back to the woman he fell in love with. And then you made up this whole story.
Okay. So once again, he wanted you to come back to the woman that he fell in love with. Mm-hmm. But at the moment in the relationship where you had all of these requirements, where you didn't have these requirements before, you said that this was a new list.
I'm interrupting you because you are being incorrect. You used the word have. He had to take your emotional turmoil. He had to meet your requirements. He did not.
Oh, no, he didn't have to.
Anything.
Yeah, he chose to.
So don't use the word have, because that's incorrect, because that would indicate something forcing. Under no condition was I forcing anything on him.
Oh, yeah, no. I 100% agree.
Because of who I am and what I bring to a relationship.
Got you. Yep.
You never asked what I bring.
Oh, no, I did. I said, what did you reciprocate on your end?
No, incorrect.
And you said that he wanted.
Incorrect.
I did ask you that.
You asked, what was his list of requirements? That's what you said. I said he didn't have a list of requirements.
And then what did I ask after that? I said, what did you reciprocate from your end? And you said that.
To answer that.
You answered it. You said that he wanted you to be the person that he fell in love with before. That was your answer.
You never asked how my husband and I are in service to each other. Not once.
Once again, there's a timeline for relationships. You guys been in a relationship for a long time. Now, I'm not saying that you're not doing anything now, but when we're speaking about from the questions that I asked you, I'm going off of what you said. I'm not putting anything else in there and I'm not taking anything out. So from what you said.
Ask your chat. Let's ask your chat. Did he put words in my mouth? Yes or no?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's go ahead and ask the chat if I put any words in your mouth. We could bring it up too. Hey, chat, did I put any words in her mouth? Put a 1 in the chat. If I didn't put any words in her mouth, put a 2 in the chat. So if I put words in her mouth, put a 1 in the chat. If I didn't put any words in her mouth, put a 2 in the chat. And I'll go ahead and show it to you as well. We could go ahead and bring it up on screen. Mm-hmm. So we got nose, nose, nose. Let's see here.
Okay.
You got to put 1 or 2. I see two ones, but we see a lot of 2s and a lot of no's.
Yeah, I counted more than 2 ones. You didn't? I'm still counting ones.
Yep. Nope. It's majority of twos.
I understand majority of twos. It's your channel. It's your people.
Yeah, well, you asked me to
So
go ahead and do it. So
how do
that's
you
why I went
account?
ahead and do it. And I
Listen,
can actually put a
I'm
poll up as
counting
well.
more ones. I'm not going to have a conversation with somebody who is dishonest and disingenuous and doesn't take reality into account.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not-
it's way more twos than there are ones.
Of course, it's your channel. I'm not going to stick around for a disingenuous conversation.
But you asked me to go ahead and ask my chat. That's why I did it. I wouldn't have did it at all. Why would I do that? You asked me. So you have to take some accountability from what you asked. This chick ran out. She left. That was the fastest thing ever. Listen, man, when you get these liberals that come on a podcast, bro, crazy. Chick is a dating coach in Canada, which is a very liberal country over there. So, yeah, man, she couldn't handle the heat. She couldn't handle a few simple questions. She married a simp. She married a simp, ladies and gentlemen, and she left. And that's the thing. Most of the time when you're speaking to individuals like this, they don't like to take accountability. She literally said, ask your chat. Ask your chat if you put words in my mouth. I go ahead and ask the chat, and the chat confirmed that I didn't put any words in her mouth. Then she says, well, I don't like that you're being disingenuous, you're being dishonest. What? Wait, what? You told me to ask the chat, and I'm reading the chat. Hey, man, we do it live. This is No Fugazee Podcast. Get the likes up. This is crazy, man. And I didn't even get on her. This chick is a stripper dating coach. A stripper for 20 years that turned into a dating coach. What are you coaching women on? I knew she was a stripper too. I've watched some of her videos and she speaks about it proudly. Wow, you're proud to be a stripper? I've done some things in my past I'm not proud of. I'm not gonna, try to shine this bright light on it when it's a dark path in my path. It would never be a bright light. It'll be a dark light. Like, oh yeah, I did some of these things back in my past, but I ain't too fond of it. We don't even need to speak about that. We don't need to shine no bright light on it. But these feminists, right? And their worldview, they twist everything. They have the world inverted. What used to be good is now bad. What used to be normal is abnormal. What's up is down. What's left is right now. The whole entire world is inverted from their prism of how they view the world. So she's happy to say that, oh yeah, I was a stripper for 20 years and I got a lot of pleasure out of stripping. And she even said, I'm a hedonist. Is that a good thing? Like, think about it. She says that I'm a hedonist. When has hedonism ever been a good thing? It's never been a good thing. Not in any culture. The definition of it isn't even a good thing. It's pleasure seeking. It may make you feel good. That's fleeting though. It's for yourself. It's selfishness. So like her entire worldview is inverted, man. Totally it's an inversion, man. It's an inversion. She can't handle the truth. That is facts. I see you on the chat. She can't handle the truth. And you know what? We still streaming, so I'm going to go ahead and allow some people to come up. Let me ask you a question since you was in the chat. Was there more twos? That meaning that people that thought
there was definitely more twos. There was a bunch of ones, but there were definitely more twos in the chat.
Got it. Exactly. So he just confirmed it. A supporter that was in the chat, he just confirmed that there was more twos, meaning that I was being honest with her.
But none of that even mattered. She asked you, go to your chat and see what they say. And then you get mad for going to the chat. How are you going to get mad at you for doing what you asked her to do?
Exactly, man. Exactly. These chicks are delusional, bro. Delusional.
This is crazy. I think this is the first time I've ever seen you make somebody run without even going in. You were like just asking simple questions, not even getting to where Cooley normally gets to. That's the craziest part. This is the fastest run I think I've seen from you.
Yo, so if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.